It's mid-December. I'm clearly out of shape, although this is really heavy snow. This is, ow. This is, ow. This is snowball man snow. Anyway, in about 2 weeks, we're out of here. We're pulling out, going down to Arizona. Get away from this stuff. But I need to make sure that we can leave. This is a little more snow than expected, but that's what it is. We're in Canada, right?
And that's when it all went to shit. Today I want to share with you the top 5 must-dos for winter RVing, particularly in Canada, for an extended stay. These are our experiences. Yours may be different. I've wintered in my rig almost 2 seasons now, 1 full winter and part of a winter. Year 1, we were prepared. We've set up properly. We had no issues. Year 2, we had issues. We weren't expecting to be in Canada as long as we were, and as a result, we took some shortcuts. We thought we would be okay. We weren't okay. So in this video, I will share with you what I did right and what I did wrong, what happened, and how I fixed it. Step 1, skirting. A must. Year 1, I skirted with 1-inch styrofoam, the entire circumference of the rig, airtight, even expanding foam where there were cracks. Encased in that skirting was also the flex hose for dumping. We had 0 issues. There was no heater underneath the rig. We actually didn't measure the temperature under the rig, so I'm not really sure what it was, but nonetheless, I never had any issues with pulling my traps to dump my gray or black tanks. I never had any freezing of any kind with anything related to under the rig. We got down as low as -25 Celsius. No issues. Second year, as a result of us not expecting to be in Canada as long as we were, I didn't skirt at all. And I paid the price. Regardless of my having heated tanks and a rig that was tested to -20, we didn't even hit -20, and my traps froze. I wasn't able to dump my gray. Once we determined that we needed to skirt, I wasn't going to go through the extensive skirting, the cost, the time, the energy, like I had year 1. So I decided to skirt the most important parts of the underbelly, which is where my tanks were. I used the readily available materials, which were cardboard, secured the cardboard in place with snow. Yes, snow works actually as an insulator. I did in this case throw in a small ceramic heater as well with my wireless fob so that I can monitor the temperatures under the rig. Every day that I had that heater on, we were registering above 0 temperatures. I was confident that I would no longer have any issues, and we didn't. Number 2, water in. Your feed line. There are products on the market that you can buy, a heated water line. The reviews are mixed. Because we were extended stay, we decided that we were going to do the homemade version, which was to wrap the water hose with foil to help with heat transfer, secure a heat tape to that line for the length of it, and then encase that all in styrofoam. We did that year 1, no issues whatsoever. The challenge was with year 2 was at one point we accidentally covered the thermostat. When you insulate and wrap and protect the thermostat, it doesn't really record or measure the temperatures outside. So one morning, I get up to make coffee and I turn the water on and there is none. Our water line froze. Now, I caught it early enough, it wasn't a big deal, nothing broke, there was no damage, and I had enough water in my Fresh that I could flip over to Fresh and we were able to make coffee. We were good. But that taught me a valuable lesson. To make sure that the thermostat on your heat tape is exposed to the elements. Number 3, water out. Great that you can get water into your rig, but can it come out? Your drain line. Year 1, my drain line was in my eaves trough. I use eaves trough to keep a good slope and a perfectly straight flex hose. Year 1, that was all encased in the same materials used for skirting, 1.5 inch styrofoam. It was very well protected, very well insulated. No issues. Year 2, take a look.
So I mostly want to get this disconnected, and I'll thaw out the line. Ow! It's kind of hot. Oh yeah, I can feel the ice right here. This is the problem. Oh yeah, I can see the ice right here.
Once we discovered that we had a problem with our flex hose, we obviously had to take action.
So what I've done is, I've decided that I'm going to keep my grate traps closed until the tanks are full, and I'll just do a dump every other day or whatever as needed.
And I also made sure that there was a constant even slope on the line. Number 4, heat. What kind of heat is best in winter conditions? Perhaps your hydro isn't metered. Why not use hydro? It's free. Not a good idea. Most rigs have water lines very close to, if not in the same compartment as all of your HVAC or HVAC lines. So your ductwork from your propane furnace is close to and in the same compartment as your water lines. And those lines run in your underbelly as well. That is done with intention by the manufacturers so that you don't have frozen water lines. Therefore, propane heat must be used. Now, there is obviously a balance. You can supplement some of your propane heat with electric. You may have colder compartments within your rig that you'd like to have a ceramic heater. Propane heat is moist, electric heat is dry. But it's important to have a balance. Propane heat must be used more than electric in order to prevent any issues with frozen water lines. Now, in preparation for propane usage in order to heat your rig, you may want to consider upgrading your tanks. If you have 20-pound tanks, upgrade to 30s, or even 100-pound tanks. Ideally, if you're in a situation where you can rent a 420, two things. One, you're not having to fill up your tanks as often. But two, now you're getting bulk propane rates, and you're getting propane delivered to your door. You're going to get a better price, and you're not going to have to go bring your tanks to your local filling station in your car or truck or whatever that may be. And that's a great benefit. Number 5, air. What do you mean air? I mean moisture and frost. As it relates to air, year 1, we didn't discover any frost in our rig until we hit about minus 25 degrees Celsius. The frost was behind a couch in one of our slides. It was a 1-inch strip across the bottom right at the floor behind the slide. It was discovered when we had guests. It was minus 25 degrees Celsius. We were 4 adults in the rig. It was very cold, and there was some humidity levels inside that propelled the frost. We pulled the back of the couch away from the wall. We added a fan for better air circulation. The frost went away. Right around the same time, those same temperatures, with the same number of adults in the rig, we discovered frost in the closets. We moved the clothing away from the outside walls, left the doors open, put a fan in the bedroom on the bed, just circulating air in the room. Problem solved. No more frost. Year 2, we were in a much more humid environment. We saw the effects of the frost, of the humidity levels, much sooner, at a much higher temperature. Rather than experiencing that frost behind the couch at minus 25, we were experiencing frost behind the couch at minus 10. So that took us by surprise. We were able to, though, based on what we had learned year 1, we were able to implement those strategies of better air circulation, pulling items back that were against outside walls, moving the clothing off the inside walls, off the outside walls from the closets, and keeping the doors open with a fan circulating air. Air circulation is key. It will help you get rid of frost. It probably won't get rid of all of the frost on the windows, but it will get rid of some. In conclusion, if your plan is to winter in your rig, it is possible. Here's a recap of what you must do. 1, you have to skirt. 2, you protect your hose, your water line coming in, so that your water line doesn't freeze. 3, you protect your flex hose going out for your gray and black dumps. You don't want that to freeze either. Number 4, make sure you're using some propane heat. Supplement with electric, focus on propane. And number 5, you have to have good air circulation. Pull items back that are against outside walls. Let the walls breathe. Let them have exposure to some of the heat that's circulating inside your rig. Once again, let me remind you, these were our experiences. Yours may be different. You may have some tips and tricks yourself that you'd like to share. If you do, please share them in the comments below. I'd love to hear what your tips are, and we can share them with our audience. Thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned next week as we have a very special visitor stop by to see us.